Good afternoon. Welcome to Joliet, Illinois, Dooley Health and Care Field, where today the University of St. Francis hosts Indiana University South Bend in a CCAC doubleheader matchup. Big game for both of these teams as they look to establish position going into next week's CCAC tournament. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for this afternoon's action. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting side, the Indiana South Bend Titans, as they get set to come to bat in the top of the first inning. Leading things off for the Titans today is their left fielder, Nolan Unger. Batting second, shortstop Tony Reyes. Brendan Bell hits third at first base. The DH and cleanup hitter is Evan Allen. At third base, batting fifth, Brett Sikorsky. Jake Vanderwood bats sixth and plays second base. Batting seventh, catcher Cole Miller. Owen Benson patrols center field, and batting ninth, right fielder Colin Mack. That starting nine for Indiana South Bend faces a tough sophomore for St. Francis, the right-hander, John McGuire. I'll give you McGuire's numbers in just a moment, but we're about ready to get started. So let's take a look at his first pitch. It's on its way, and it misses for ball one on Nolan Unger. Underway here, just past 3 o'clock in the Central Time Zone. It's 1-0 on Nolan Unger, a .306 batter. He swings the next one and bloops it into shallow left field, sinking in front of Jake Vera. That's a base hit for Unger. And a good start to this one for the team in gray today. Leadoff man reaches for Indiana South Bend. And that brings up Tony Reyes. John McGuire is starting his 7th game this year. It's his 10th appearance overall. He's 4-3. With a team-leading 3.32 ERA. McGuire on the season has thrown 38 innings. He's allowed 24 runs, 14 of them earned on 45 hits, with 20 strikeouts and 9 walks. He faces Tony Reyes with a man at first base, a 1-0 count. Next one is fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike on Reyes. Tony Reyes is hitting .295, 25 runs batted in, for a team that comes into play today with a record of just 6-17-1 in conference action. Indiana South Bend is 12-27-1 overall. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back. It's 1-2. St. Francis comes in at .500 for the season, 24-24. After a slow start against a very tough non-conference slate, they have turned things on during CCAC play. They're 18-7 in conference, the majority of that success having come at home. Liner up the middle on one hop. It's fielded on a dive by Alex Martinez, who flips to second for the force. Noah Carraro over to first, and that's a double play. Alex Martinez plays second base today. Usually that's John McGuire's position, but with McGuire on the mound, Martinez steps in and makes a diving start to an excellent double play, 4-6-3, and there are 2 down in the inning. Great defense from the Fighting Saints. And that brings up Brendan Bell with 2 gone. Bell, the first baseman, is a right-handed hitter. And the team's leader at a .381 average. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 2 homers, 30 RBIs this year for Bell. Next pitch from McGuire, misses outside, ball 1. St. Francis is 17-4 in their home ballpark this season. One of those losses came in their most recent game. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. They split a doubleheader here yesterday against a different team from Indiana, Indiana Institute of Technology, who came in for a non-conference showdown and split the 2 games, with the Saints falling in the finale. Ball up and in, 2-2. So they try to bounce back with a victory today, trying to get 2 victories today. Off to a great start, thanks to the glove of Alex Martinez. Ball up and away, the count's full on Bell. If he reaches, we'll see an Evan Allen appearance here in the first inning. 2 outs, nobody on base. Indiana South Bend looking to strike first here in game 1 of this doubleheader. Line drive down the left field line, that's a foul ball. Brendan Bell ran it out, hoping that it would cut fair. It did not. Would have needed some help from the wind if it were going to. It was about 3 to 4 feet foul. just beyond the bullpen down the left field line. A solidly struck ball by Brendan Bell. Bell does not strike out a ton, although more than anybody else on his team. Still just 28 times and 40 games played this year. McGuire tries to put him away, but he fouls off another. Still 3-2. This is a team that doesn't strike out a ton. The Titans of Indiana South Bend. Check swing on a ball in the dirt. Saints want to appeal, and there is the appeal. He did not go around. So that's ball 4. 2 of the first 3 men have reached for Indiana South Bend. And McGuire issues his first walk of the day. 1 on, 2 outs, and the batter is Evan Allen, the DH. Allen's a .252 hitter. He's got the best power on the team, 4 home runs in just 119 at-bats. He's got 27 RBIs, and he's got an 0-1 count on him as he takes strike 1 from McGuire. He's talking about South Bend not striking out very much. Just about 6 times per game as a team. Fouled back, it's 0-2. Their offense as a whole has been pretty solid, a .292 team average. They score about 7 runs per game, just a shade under 7. The 0-2. Chopper to third base, picked up cleanly, and Jonathan Wolf throws over to second for the force. 5-4 on the fielder's choice to end the inning, and Indiana South Bend is held off the scoreboard in their first attempt. We go to the bottom of the first inning. St. Francis will come up in a 0-0 game. After half an inning of play, we have no score. St. Francis will come to bat for the first time. Here's the lineup that they sport. Jake Vera leads things off, playing left field. Batting second, shortstop Noah Carraro. Eric Maffey hits third at first base. The cleanup hitter is catcher Jake Lasota. Luke Ketchum plays center field and bats fifth. The number 6 hitter is pitcher John McGuire. Sam Tumulty is in right field. Alex Martinez bats 8th at second base, and hitting 9th, third baseman Jonathan Wolf. Those 9 men face off against right-hander Robbie Berger, whose first pitch misses for ball 1. 1-0 on Jake Vera. Robbie Berger is making his 6th start this year. He's 2-1 with a 7.76 ERA. His 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Berger in 8 games total has allowed, or I should say, he has pitched 29 innings. He's allowed 27 runs, 25 of them earned, 46 hits, 7 walks. He has struck out 42. Robbie Berger does not walk many, and he strikes out a lot, but the hits have been a problem. He's been hit fairly hard this year, and the Saints have been hitting everybody pretty hard this season as Jake Vera pops it foul to the left side towards the seats and well out of play. It's 2-2. Jake Vera is hitting over 400 in conference play, 371 overall. ranked second on the team. He's got 2 homers, 25 RBIs. 2-2 on Vera. Berger gets the sign in from his catcher Cole Miller. The right-hander sets and deals. Misses low. It's a full count. Robbie Berger is a junior, playing for his hometown school. He is originally from South Bend as he misses low, ball 4. So I mentioned that he gets hit pretty hard from time to time, but very seldom walks anybody. Jake Vera hits everybody pretty hard, but does not draw very many walks, and of course we see a walk. Leadoff man is put aboard. It's just the 10th time this year that Vera has taken a base on balls, and it's just the 8th time this year that Berger has put one on that way. Noah Carraro swings at the first pitch and flies it into left center field. Nolan Unger is under it. Unger makes the catch. 1 away. Carraro retired on the first offering. Jake Vera stays at first base, and the batter is Eric Maffey. No score in the bottom of the first. Indiana South Bend got 2 base runners in their half of the frame. One of them, though, was stranded at first base. The other was erased on a double play. Eric Maffey is hitting .403 this season. He leads the conference in batting average. Throw to first base. The runner gets back. Maffey had a huge day in yesterday's doubleheader. Had a big game 1 before we saw mostly reserves playing in game 2. Swing and a miss with the runner on the move. The throw down to second is in time. Jake Vera is gunned down by Cole Miller. The count is 0-1 on Eric Maffey, and we've got 2 outs now. So Maffey now bats with nobody on base. On a perfect throw from Cole Miller. Vera got a decent jump there, but Miller did that about as well as he could. It was a close play at second base, and the call goes to Indiana South Bend. And now, like McGuire before him, Robbie Berger is trying to pitch around an early base runner and get out of the inning unscathed. McGuire actually pitched around 2 early base runners. Just the 6th time this year that Cole Miller has caught somebody stealing. He had been 5 for 58, so 6 for 59. He's just a bit over 10% now. 1-2 the count. Check swing from Maffey. He did not go around, and that evens things up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maffey homered among his 3 hits in yesterday's game, pushing his average above 400. He takes strike 3 over the outside corner, and the inning comes to a close. A walk, a strikeout, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for Robbie Berger in the bottom of the first. We go to the 2nd inning, no score. Brett Sikorsky will lead off the top of the second inning for Indiana South Bend. No score after one. Indiana South Bend got a hit in the first inning. Each team drew a walk, but neither team was able to get a man past first base. As Sikorsky takes ball one low from John McGuire. McGuire entered play today with the best ERA on the team among starters, 3.32. Ball outside, 2-0. Hasn't been used as much as some of the other guys, not on the mound anyway. Typically, he is an infielder. He'll play every game. Line drive into right field. A base hit for Sikorsky. For the second consecutive inning, Indiana South Bend puts their leadoff man on base. Sikorsky is 1 for 1, and that brings up Jake Vanderwood. McGuire has been one of the top hitters on the St. Francis team this year as well, so when he isn't pitching, he usually either plays second base or is the DH. He may be the DH in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. He's not likely to be back out on the field after starting a game on the mound. Jake Vanderwood is a .345 hitter. Homer, 24 RBIs this year as McGuire keeps a very close eye on Brett Sikorsky. Sikorsky has 2 stolen bases on the season. First pitch to the second baseman Vanderwood, swung on and grounded to second and past Martinez into right field. A base hit for Vanderwood, back-to-back singles, a throw back to second base, and Sikorsky nearly was caught napping over at second as the Saints tried to throw behind him to pick him off at the end of the play. Nice throw by Sam Tumulty, good idea, but he was able to get in just ahead of the tag. Misplay by Alex Martinez there. As his first step went towards his right. He needed to go to his left, and he certainly, had he played that one properly, would have been able to get the runner at second. I think the ball was probably hit too slowly to turn it into a double play, but they end up getting nothing out of it. And now runners at first and second, nobody out for Cole Miller. Miller swings the first pitch and pops it up on the infield. Right side. Noah Carraro jumps in front of Martinez to call for it, and the shortstop makes the grab near the second base position for the first out of the inning. That's a big first out. Infield fly rule was in effect even if the catch had not been made. But a first pitch swing from Cole Miller results in the pop out, and now McGuire is potentially a ground ball away from getting out of an inning that did and continues to have the potential to be a problem. Here's Owen Benson. Benson takes a first pitch strike. Owen Benson is the center fielder. He's a .301 hitter in 73 at-bats. He's got 22 hits. No homers, 9 RBIs for the season. Benson is the number 8 hitter in the batting order. He fouls it away, and he's in a quick hole, 0-2. McGuire does not yet have a strikeout in today's game. He's fanned 20 in 39 innings for the season. 0-2 on Benson. Sikorsky's at second, Vanderwood's at first. A swing and a foul back. Still 2 strikes on Benson, with 1 out having been recorded in the inning. Indiana South Bend, I was talking last inning about their offense. They have been good at scoring runs this year. Trying to add a few early in this game as this ball is looped into right field. Tumulty takes a step over to his left and makes the grab. Sikorsky tags from second base. Here comes the throw from Tumulty, and Sikorsky is out. A double play on the fly out to right field for the second time this inning. Sam Tumulty makes a nice throw. He just missed getting Sikorsky at second. He does not just miss at third base. So the double play ends the inning. IUSB started the frame with back-to-back singles. They end up leaving a man at first and not scoring. We go to the bottom of the second inning, 0-0. Bottom of the second inning, St. Francis will try to get on the scoreboard first here. Jake Lasota leads things off and takes a first pitch strike from Robbie Berger. Lasota, the cleanup hitter and catcher for St. Francis, having a sensational season at the plate, sitting .367 and has knocked in 40 runs as he takes a ball outside. It's 1-1. Lasota, Ketchum, and McGuire are due up against Berger this inning. Berger looked sharp in the first. He issued a rare walk to Jake Vera to lead off that inning, but a little boost from his catcher Cole Miller. He ended up retiring the next couple of batters, including one on a strikeout, as Lasota pops it up to shallow left. Unger continues to drift in and finally makes the catch. Well, yesterday at this ballpark, the wind was favoring the hitters. Today, maybe not as much. The ball drifted further and further in. It ended up probably closer to the shortstop than the left fielder, but Unger was in better position to make the grab as he was coming in the whole way. Lasota is retired for out number one as Luke Ketchum comes to the plate for the first time. Ketchum takes ball one from Berger. Luke Ketchum's a .352 hitter. He's got 12 home runs and a team-leading 42 RBIs. He hits a bouncer to third base. That's a foul ball. And the count moves to 1-1. Ketchum had a phenomenal doubleheader yesterday, that non-conference twin bill against Indiana Tech. He came to the plate 7 times and reached base all 7. Officially, his stats for the day were just 3 for 4 at the plate. One of those 3 hits was a home run. But he also walked. He was hit by a pitch, and he reached on an air once. I think he walked twice. Hit by one pitch and reached on an air. That covers 7 times. Count is 2-1 on Ketchum. 1 out, nobody on base. Ketchum's got nearly half of his team's home runs this year. He's got 12. The next closest on the roster is Eric Maffey with 4. So this has been the biggest power bat by a wide margin. Ketchum is a senior from downstate, and enjoying his most success collegiately this season. 3-1, fouled away. It's 3-2. Robbie Berger stands atop the mound, stares in at Cole Miller to get the sign. Here comes the payoff pitch. Ketchum strikes out swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Robbie Berger. First time he's gotten somebody swinging. And that'll bring up John McGuire. Robbie Berger this season in just 30 2/3 innings, including today, now has 44 strikeouts. By far the best strikeout rate on the team, and one of the best in the conference. Ball one outside on the number 6 hitter, McGuire. The pitcher in today's game, McGuire's a .325 hitter for the season with a homer and 20 runs knocked in. 1-0. He grounds it right side. A diving stop by the first baseman, Brendan Bell. He flips to the pitcher covering the bag, and the inning is over. We've seen some excellent defense today on both sides of the field. The Fighting Saints do not score in the second inning. They go down 1-2-3 as we head to the third, still scoreless. First pitch of the third inning misses high for ball one on the number 9 hitter, Colin Mack for IUSB. No score after 2. South Bend has gotten their leadoff hitter on in each of the first 2 innings. Here in the third, though, a ground ball to Jonathan Wolf, and Mack is thrown out at first, so a quick out this time around. And a much better start to the inning for McGuire, who's had to pitch pretty much consistently with men on base in today's game. This time, he at least gets the first out with nobody aboard. He'll face Nolan Unger for the second time. 1 out. Unger is 1 for 1 with a single. He began the ball game with that base hit, was eventually erased on a double play. Unger swings the first pitch and flies it into right field. Routine for Tumulty. He puts it away, 2 down. Really good start to this inning for McGuire. He's gotten 2 outs on just 3 pitches. He's gotten 5 outs on his last 8 pitches going back to last inning, and has not allowed a base runner since the back-to-back singles to begin the second inning. Here's Tony Reyes. Reyes is 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play in the first inning, but Alex Martinez had to rob him of a base hit in order to get even 1 out, let alone 2. First pitch strike. Martinez made the diving play up the middle and flipped it from his belly over to second base. Noah Carrara was able to turn it. Strike called. It's 0-2. So McGuire's looking for a quick inning. And with 2 outs and nobody on, he's off to a good start on Reyes with back-to-back strikes. Now trying to put him away. The 0-2. Just missed for ball 1. Indiana South Bend has had 4 base runners so far today, but hasn't been able to do anything with them, as that foul ball keeps the count at 1-2. They've hit into 2 double plays already. This would be McGuire's first perfect frame if he can get it. And he can't. A line shot into center field and a base hit for Tony Reyes. 4th hit of the game for IUSB. Fortunately for St. Francis, they've all been singles. And only once have they even had a man at second base, let alone third. Brendan Bell will hit here with a man on, and that's one thing that McGuire did not want to see. Bell, a .381 hitter with a .474 on base percentage. This is a tough out. And he hits with Reyes at first base. Bell takes the first pitch strike. McGuire got the first 2 outs this inning on 3 pitches and then moved ahead of Reyes 0-2. But credit to Reyes, he fought and kept the inning alive. Now Bell can give IUSB the first run of the game. He takes a strike. It's 0-2. Another 0-2 count. McGuire's not able to finish off the previous hitter. We'll see if he can with this guy. McGuire pitching out of the stretch. Gets the sign from Lesota and sets for the no-ball 2-strike offering. Brendan Bell takes strike 3. A fastball over the outside corner to end the inning. So strike 3 leaves a man at first base. And for the 3rd consecutive inning, Indiana South Bend gets at least 1 hit but no runs. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. No score. No score in the bottom of the third inning. Still very early here, but shaping up to be a pitcher's duel between John McGuire and Robbie Berger. Berger comes out for his third inning and sees Tumulty drop a beautiful bunt down the third base line, and he beats out the throw to first base. The leadoff man reaches for St. Francis, their first hit of the game. Sam Tumulty's got some of the best speed on the team, and he couldn't have dropped one down much prettier than that. A perfect bunt. The leadoff man reaches on the first pitch of the inning. And getting speed aboard is always huge. Tumulty is a threat to steal, and if nothing else, may divert some attention from the pitcher Robbie Berger as Alex Martinez digs in for the first time today. Martinez starting this game at second base, bats from the right-hand side of the plate. Squares to bunt himself and knocks it back, foul for strike one. Alex Martinez is starting his second consecutive game at second. He's a .260 hitter with a home run and 11 RBIs. This is his 31st start of the year. Throw to first base, Tumulty back in safely. Berger had retired 5 in a row prior to the bunt single, 2 of them on strikes. Now for the second time today, he has to pitch with a man on base. The 0-1, bunted back to the pitcher. Berger scoops it up. His only play is at first, and he gets the out there. 1-3 on the putout as the runner advances into scoring position with 1 out. Martinez does his job. Back-to-back bunts get this inning started. Jonathan Wolf is the number 9 hitter. Wolf gets his first look at Berger. Jonathan Wolf, a 15-time starter at third base this year. Got a .341 average, 2 homers, 13 RBIs. And an RBI chance right here. Big swing and a miss. Berger took something off of that one, and Wolf was out in front of it on a huge hack. Strike one with 1 out. Saints have a runner in scoring position for the first time today. Neither side has yet had a man reach third. The 0-1 is inside. It hits the knob of Wolf's bat and ends up as a foul ball on strike 2. Wolf seemed initially like he was leaning into that and then tried to back out of the way at the last instant. And the ball ended up hitting him. It was hard to tell if it was him or the bat initially, but the way that he reacted, it was obvious that it was the bat. So the count is 0-2. A swing and a ground ball foul past third base. The count remains the same. The Titans are not holding Tumulty on at second base. He's had a chance to build a huge lead. Here's another 0-2. Long pause first, now to the plate. Wolf pops it up foul to the right side, out of play. It's a doubleheader today and a cool afternoon in Joliet. Temperature is likely to drop into the 30s by the time this twin bill is done. A little bit later in the afternoon than we saw earlier in the season when games were starting at 1. Now, because the sun is out later, games can start a little later. Strike 3 called. Wolf goes down looking. And Berger has his third strikeout of the game. Second one that's been backwards. 2 outs. Tumulty's still stuck over at second base. It's up to Jake Vera to get him in. Prior to this inning, Vera had been the only Saint to get on. He walked back in the first but was caught stealing. First pitch to Jake Vera. Poked foul to the left. Strike 1. Sam Tumulty hit a leadoff single on a bunt. Saints try to get him in. Ball outside, 1-1, but they're down to their final out this inning. That bunt hit came on the first pitch of the inning. He's the first man for St. Francis to reach second base. But if Berger can retire Vera, it'll be zeros on the scoreboard for both sides along the first three. 1-1. Vera lifts it foul to the left side, again out of play. And the count is 1-2. The single was followed by a sacrifice bunt and a strikeout, and here we are. 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. Nice job by Vera to stay alive. Another 1-2 pitch from Berger. Not made just yet. He looks Tumulty back over to second base first. Sam Tumulty this year has 10 steals. He's been stationary over at second. He's been at second most of the inning. Never got a chance to run from first. 1-2. Ground ball right side. Another diving play by Bell. Bell to his feet, flips over to the bag, and gets to the out to end the inning. Brendan Bell has now made 2 diving plays, one to retire each of the last 2 innings. McGuire ended the second, Vera ends the third, and they have both felt the wrath of Brendan Bell's glove. So the Saints get a man to second base but leave him there. We'll head to the 4th inning. Still no score. Scoreless through 3. We've made it into the top of the 4th inning. Indiana South Bend's coming up with their 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Evan Allen, the DH, leads things off. He swings at the first pitch and pops it out to shallow right center field. Luke Ketchum calls off Sam Tumulty and makes the grab. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 4th, very similar to the start we saw in the 3rd inning. Wasn't an out on the first pitch that inning, but it was 2 outs on the first 3 pitches. McGuire wouldn't mind doing that again as he tries to make quick work of Brett Sikorsky here. Sikorsky is 1 for 1. He singled in the 2nd inning, eventually was thrown out trying to get to 3rd later in that frame as he fouls the first pitch back here for strike 1. That's as close as either team has had to having a man at 3rd base. 4 hits for Indiana South Bend, 1 for St. Francis. Neither team has committed an error as that ball is grounded to second. Martinez up with it over to first. And for the 2nd straight inning, McGuire gets the first 2 outs on his first 3 pitches. Sikorsky is 1 for 2, and that brings up the second baseman, Jake Vanderwood. Vanderwood is 1 for 1 with a single of his own back in the 2nd inning. McGuire's got another chance for his first 1-2-3 inning. He came oh so close in the 3rd. Ball in the dirt, 1-0. In the 3rd inning, he got 2 quick outs and then got ahead of Tony Reyes 0-2, but couldn't put Reyes away. He ended up singling. McGuire not looking for a repeat. The 1-0 pitch to Vanderwood. Ground ball right side and out of the reach of a diving Eric Maffey. Fifth hit of the game for Indiana South Bend as it rolls into right field for a Jake Vanderwood single, his second today. 6 hits, or rather 5 hits now for IUSB, all of them singles. They've had 6 total base runners. One of them on a walk. But not only have they not scored, they haven't really advanced runners at all. Here's Cole Miller. It's Cole with a K. Miller, who steps into the box and takes the first pitch for ball 1. Miller popped out to the shortstop. That in the second inning. Vanderwood takes his lead from first. The pitch to Miller is fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Righty-righty matchup here. McGuire has had to pitch around base runners all game. Still no runs on the board, though. Trying to keep it that way with 2 outs in the 4th. A ground ball through the right side. Another base hit. Cole Miller is aboard as Jake Vanderwood makes it into third base. They're at the corners on back-to-back 2-out singles. Nice piece of hitting behind the runner right there with Alex Martinez going to cover second base. Miller poked it right through that vacated spot. So here comes a pinch runner. Taj Abdur-Rahman is coming on at first base. The catcher, Miller, will go back to the dugout and get his equipment ready for the next inning, which McGuire is hoping is very soon. Pretty much all the hits for Indiana South Bend have been ground balls. All 6 have been singles. And that puts him in a tough spot with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. The throw to first base, checks on the runner. Owen Benson is the batter. Benson's hitting .301, 9 RBIs. He flew into a double play his first time up today. This time he hits it on the ground. A slowly moving ball to third. Wolf picks it up, throws to first. It's out of the glove of Eric Maffey, and the air allows the run to score. Vanderwood crosses the plate. Miller makes it all the way to third base. They're at the corners again, and a run is in. Indiana South Bend strikes first here in the top of the 4th inning. 3 straight 2-out base runners. After McGuire got a couple of easy outs this inning. That'll be an unearned run, of course. I don't know what happened. Maffey just took his eye off the ball, I guess. Jonathan Wolf didn't have an easy play because it was so softly hit, but he made it flawlessly. And it looked like he threw a strike over to Maffey at first base. Somehow it just didn't stick in the glove. So Benson is aboard, no RBI for him, but he stands at first. Miller is now at third. Vanderwood has scored, and Colin Mack will try to build this lead. Mack swings at the first pitch, grounds it weakly to second base. Easily handled by Martinez. The throw to first is in time to retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error. All of the damage done with 2 outs. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, Indiana South Bend leads it 1-0. Bottom of the fourth, St. Francis comes to bat for the first time trailing in this game. It has been a scoreless pitcher's duel most of the way, but with 2 outs in the top of the fourth, an error allowed a run to score. And so now the Saints have some work to do offensively. They did before anyway, but now they will need at least a couple of runs as Noah Carraro fouls it away for strike 1. Carraro, the shortstop, is 0 for 1 with a flyout. He takes a strike. It's 0-2. Noah's a .282 hitter, 15 extra base hits, 29 RBIs this year. Batting in the 2 spot in the batting order the last few games. He takes in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's been the leadoff man for most of the season so far. Robbie Berger so far has pitched a gem. Berger came in with an ERA north of 7. Fouled away, still 1-2. And the biggest knock on him was the number of hits allowed. He's given up an opponent's average of .357 coming into play today, and so far in this game through 3 innings he's allowed only 1 hit, and that was a bunt single. He's got himself another strikeout as Carraro goes down looking. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Robbie Berger. He's fanned 1 every inning, and maybe fanned is the wrong word because all but 1 of them have been looking. Carraro frozen on that 1-2 pitch. 4th straight retired by Berger. He'll face Eric Maffey for the 2nd time. Maffey was his first strikeout victim. He went down looking to end the bottom of the 1st inning. Maffey made a defensive mistake in the last inning that led to the run scoring. So trying to make up for it on the offensive side, he fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Line drive into right field. That falls in for a base hit in front of Colin Mack. First solid hit of the game, really the first hard hit ball of the game for St. Francis. And it belongs to Eric Maffey, who is aboard representing the tying run with 1 out. And Jake Lasota coming up. Lasota popped out to shallow left field his first time at the plate. But now he has a chance with a man on base. That's where he's done his most significant damage this year. Ball 1 on Lasota. Pickoff throw to first. Maffey back in. Maffey's an aggressive base runner. 13 for 16 stealing bags this year. He leads the team in stolen bases. And to put it into perspective, there's only 1 player on Indiana South Bend who's got more than 2. Fouled away. It's 1-1 on Jake Lasota. Lasota with 1 out is trying to at least advance the runner, leading up to Luke Ketchum, but he'd love to drive him in. He just wants to make sure, above all else, that there's no soft out here, including a strikeout. Keeping Maffey over at first base. The 1-1. Fly ball into center field. Benson comes charging in. It's out of the reach of the second baseman, Jake Vanderwood, and down for a base hit. On the shallow right center, that ball did not carry very well at all. Benson came flying in from center field. Jake Vanderwood, sprinting out from the second baseman's position, was closest to that ball. He could not pull it in, and that means back-to-back singles for the Saints have put runners at first and second with 1 out. Pinch runner over at first base is John Peterson, so it's Peterson at first, Maffey at second. 1 down, and the dangerous Luke Ketchum in the box. Ketchum is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in the second inning. swings through the first pitch here as well. Strike one on Ketchum. 352 hitter with 42 runs batted in. 0-1. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Ketchum has not put a good swing on any pitch from Berger yet today. He was locked in yesterday's doubleheader. So far today, that has not been the case. 0-2. After a long set, Ketchum takes from Berger outside, ball one. Wind is howling in from center field here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Ketchum's the leading home run hitter on the team, but not likely to crank one out here. 1-2. Ball outside. 2-2. This is about who you wanted to have up in this situation. After the Maffey single, Lasota and Ketchum have been the two guys to hit with men on. Trying to tie the score at 1 at least. 2-2. Popped up, shallow right. Vanderwood backs up. Vanderwood still drifting. He gives way at the last instant to the right fielder, Colin Mack. And Mack makes the grab, avoiding collision, or at least any serious collision. Second out of the inning. So it's up to the pitcher, McGuire. He's pitching a fine ball game, has not allowed an earned run through 4 innings. And now he'll try to become the game MVP with a big offensive contribution too. McGuire is 0 for 1, but he was robbed by Brendan Bell, the first baseman. Bell made a diving play to retire him. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for Indiana South Bend, no runs, 3 hits. 1 error for St. Francis. McGuire waits patiently and finally takes a strike. John McGuire is trying to get Maffey home from second base. He represents the tying run. Fouled away. The Saints are down to their final strike of the inning. No worry, this isn't the first time. They were also down to their final strike. Oh, I guess this is the first time. I don't know what I'm talking about. 0-2 with 2 outs. 2 on. 1 run game, but St. Francis can take that lead back or at least tie it up with 1 swing here from McGuire. Fake pickoff throw to second base. It's still 0-2. Here comes the next pitch. Golf down the right field line, cutting towards foul territory and out of play. Just barely out of play. Long run for Colin Mack. He got close to it, but ran out of the room in front of the railing. Still 0-2 on John McGuire. Next pitch coming. McGuire lines it to the right side and over the glove this time of Brendan Bell. Eric Maffey comes around third base and ties the score as Jake Lasota heads into third. An RBI single for the pitcher, John McGuire, and that ties us up at 1. Nice piece of 2-strike hitting by McGuire, pushing it the other way, and so close to being caught by Brendan Bell. Bell has played a remarkable first base today. He's made a couple of excellent stabs at balls. And he did it again right there, but just came up a tiny bit short. Here's Sam Tumulty. Tumulty is 1 for 1 with a bunt single prior to this inning. That was the only hit of the game for the Fighting Saints. Now they've got 4 of them. They've all been singles. Popped up. Right side, foul ground. The catcher Miller makes the grab and retires the side. One run scores on 3 hits. 1 left on. We go to the 5th. Tie game 1-1. Four innings down, 3 still to play here. At least that's what's on the docket. But every inning so far has ended with a tie score. Currently it's 1-1. John McGuire heads back out on the mound, and his first pitch of the inning is popped up behind home plate. Lasota gives it a chase, but it lands well out of play. And the count is 0-1 on the leadoff batter, hitting for the 3rd time today, Nolan Unger. Unger is 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. 306 hitter with a .411 on-base percentage for the season. Unger has become very familiar with John McGuire so far in this game. McGuire's got the only RBI of the game. He misses the outside corner here, 1-1. His run-scoring single tied it up at 1 after an unearned run that scored on an error in the top of the 4th inning initially gave Indiana South Bend the lead. Strike called, 1-2. So as I said, every inning has ended with a tie score. It was 0-0 at the end of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then after each team got 1, it was 1-1 following the 4th inning. Ball in the dirt, 2-2 on Unger. It's Unger, Reyes, and Bell to hit this inning. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from McGuire. Up and away, ball 3. McGuire has walked 1 today. This is his first 3-ball count since that 1st inning free pass he issued. Payoff pitch coming to Unger. Fouled away. IUSB has had at least 1 base runner in every inning. They've had 8 of them total. Another 3-2. Ground ball left side of the infield, circled by Carraro. He gloves, throws quickly to first, and retires Unger easily. Softly hit ball. Unger's got some speed. A little bit of surprise that play wasn't any closer, but Carraro fielded it cleanly and made a perfect throw over to first base, made that play look easy. The leadoff man is retired for the 3rd straight inning. That brings up Tony Reyes. 8 base runners through 4 innings. You'd think IUSB probably would have more than 1 run, but they've hit into 2 double plays. Ball 1 high on Tony Reyes, who's 1 for 2. He hit into one of those double plays. 4-6-3 deal. It featured some great defense back in the 1st inning. He singled his last time up as this ball's flown into right field. Tumulty backs up, and Sam Tumulty makes the catch. 2 down. First 2 batters of the inning have been retired for the 3rd straight time. McGuire has been able to get those first 2 outs. It's the 3rd one that's been elusive. Of the 8 base runners that I mentioned, 5 of them have come with 2 outs already recorded in the inning. Brendan Bell is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He walked his first time to the plate, and then he walked down to first base after taking 4 balls. Want to know the countdown? I'm here. That pitch misses below the knees. 2 outs, base is empty. McGuire goes into the windup. A swing and a foul ball. Count is at 2-1. McGuire's next pitch paints the inside corner, and that evens it up, 2-2. 1 strike away from ending the inning. McGuire has just 1 strikeout so far in the game. It was Bell, and it did end an inning. That was in the 3rd. Here's a ground ball foul past third. A hard hit ball by Bell, but wide of the line. Jonathan Wolf watched it go into the bullpen down the left field line where the Indiana South Bend pitchers warm up. Still 2-2, 2 outs, nobody on. McGuire trying for his cleanest inning so far. Bell pops it up, right side, foul territory. Maffey is over in front of his own dugout, and he can't quite pull it in. Tough play for Eric Maffey. It was catchable. It was just beyond the St. Francis dugout. That ball landed on the ramp just outside that dugout area, which means that it was still behind the railing. Maffey's only chance to make the play was to stand at the railing, lean over, and pull it in. And he didn't have quite enough time to get himself positioned at the railing as the ball was dropping. So it looked like it nicked off his glove as he reached over. But no error, it's no play. And it lasts just 1 more pitch in the at-bat as Bell strikes out swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Bell, second strikeout of the game for McGuire. His first 1-2-3 frame of the day. We've played 4.5, tied up 1-1. Alex Martinez leads off the bottom of the 5th inning for St. Francis. Saints have erased a 1-0 deficit, but they've not yet led in this game, and they can do so with a run here in the 5th as Martinez swings at the first pitch, lines it into left center, and a nice running grab made by Owen Benson for the first out of the inning. Hard hit ball by Martinez. That was one of the harder hit balls we've seen all day, maybe the hardest by a St. Francis hitter. But Benson got a great jump on it. Really, the catch was never in doubt, even though that ball was hit into the gap. It was not able to fall. Great read by Benson. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th, and Jonathan Wolf comes to the plate. Wolf is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. Robbie Berger has exactly 1 strikeout every inning so far. And he gets ahead of Wolf here, 0-1. Saints' only run came in the 4th, an RBI single from John McGuire. Ball outside, 1-1. You figure as a pitcher, any game where you've made it through 5 innings, you have not allowed an earned run, but you have driven one in, there's a pretty good chance you've got a good lead. In this case, that is not the case. It's a tie. Ball low, 2-1. Both McGuire and Berger have been very impressive. McGuire had to dance around a lot of early base runners, but he pitched a clean top of the 5th. 1-2 is grounded up the middle, past Berger and into center field. Jonathan Wolf is aboard with a 1-out single. Nice hit from Wolf. Bottom of the order, starting to square Berger up a little bit, and now we're back to the top and Jake Vera. Through the first 3 innings, McGuire was in and out of trouble the whole time, didn't allow anything. Berger was clean as a whistle, gave up just 1 hit. It was a bunt single. Faced only 10 batters in the first 3, but the Saints got to him in the 4th. They're trying to get to him again here in the 5th. Vera bats for the 3rd time, and he takes ball 1 outside. Jake Vera walked in the first inning. He grounded out to a diving Brendan Bell at first base in the 3rd. Third baseman Brett Sikorsky is pinched in for Indiana South Bend. Ball low and in. Cole Miller was able to keep it in front, not allow the runner to advance. It's 2-0 now on Vera. Sikorsky backs up a few steps. Not a likely bunting situation to begin with because there is 1 out in the inning. But after not showing bunt at all in the first 2 pitches, Sikorsky gives a little bit more space to Vera, who swings away and flies it into left center field, backing up Nolan Unger. Unger is able to make the grab. The wind pushed that ball back into left, initially targeted for left center. So it was an awkward route for Nolan Unger. He had to kind of spin around and retreat to that ball. But it worked out for him for the 2nd out of the inning, and now it's up to Noah Carraro to try to get this go-ahead run in. 1-out single for Jonathan Wolf. Put the leading runner aboard. But he's still stuck at first base. Carraro is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. He takes ball 1 up and in from Berger. Berger's been excellent. 5 hits, 1 walk. All 5 hits have been singles. In fact, so far in this game, we've seen 11 hits total, and all of them have been singles. 5 for the Saints, 6 for the Titans. Throw to first base. Jonathan Wolf wasn't really taking a lead. It's 1-0 on Carraro. Here's the pitch from Berger. Popped up right side, foul territory. Long run for Bell, and he watches it sail onto the right field berm. The count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. St. Francis entered play today, 4th in the CCAC. With just a handful of games left, it would take a miracle for them to make it all the way up to number 1, but they'd like to stay in the top 3 or 4 teams. They've certainly got a chance to finish as high as 2nd. Fouled away. It's 1-2. Olivet Nazarene hasn't lost in over a month. Not since they played St. Francis, in fact. So they, by all appearances, will win the regular season conference title. Unless something absolutely crazy happens over the last few days. 1-2. Grounded foul. Nice job by Carraro to make some contact with that one. That pitch looked inside, but with 2 strikes, he was protecting the plate and was just able to get enough of the bat on it to stay in the box for another pitch. 1-2 the count with Jonathan Wolf at first base. 2 down in the inning. Ball up and away, 2-2. Good at bat here for Carraro, making Berger work. will be his 14th pitch of the inning. He hasn't had too many laborious innings today. Carraro fouls off another. Both he and John McGuire have typically made pretty quick work of their opposition, even when there have been base runners. The innings have been pretty short in terms of pitch count. Another 2-2 coming. Liner to second. It's caught by Jake Vanderwood, and the inning is over. Hard hit ball by Carraro. A couple of hard hit balls that turned into outs that inning. No matter to Robbie Berger as he's able to keep the Saints off the scoreboard yet again. Another end to an inning, another tie score. Still 1-1 at the end of 5. Top of the 6th, we're still tied. Evan Allen is the hitter, and Allen takes strike 1 from John McGuire. 1-1 the score. Nothing but zeros on the board for the first 3 innings. Indiana South Bend broke the stalemate with a run in the top of the 4th. The Saints answered with one in the bottom of the inning as Evan Allen fouls it back and falls behind in the count 0-2. 0-2 is the stat line for Allen today as well. He's got a ground out and a fly out. He pops this ball into right field down the line. Tumulty and Maffey chase it into foul ground, and it's out of play. Still 0-2. John McGuire has matched his game high, having retired 4 consecutive hitters. He had his first 1-2-3 inning of the game when he set down Unger, Reyes, and Bell. Top 3 hitters in the batting order for IUSB in the 5th. The only run to score for the Titans was on an error in the top of the 4th inning. Ground ball hit to the shortstop. Carraro fires to first to retire Allen. 1 up, 1 down. That's 5 in a row retired by McGuire. It's a cold day. The wind is blowing in. So conditions are suitable for pitchers for sure. But this has been an even better pitcher's duel than I would have expected coming in, especially from a team like IUSB, who's got a very good offense and has really struggled to get outs this season. Ground ball to first base just inside the line. Did it stay fair? Yes, it did, as Maffey picks it up and steps on the bag for out number 2. That was fair all the way down the line. It looked like by the time Maffey grabbed it, it may have just kicked foul, but apparently he grabbed it before it moved over the line. Brett Sikorsky is retired, 3 unassisted. And there are 2 outs in the top of the 6th. That brings up Jake Vanderwood. Indiana South Bend this season has scored an average of 7 runs per game. Vanderwood takes ball 1 inside from McGuire. But they've given up well over that number. A little over 8 runs per game. Ball 2 on Vanderwood. So they've scored about 7 per contest, but given up about 8, a little over 8. Ball low and in, 3-0. Suffice to say, they haven't played a ton of games like this. 1-1 in the 6th inning, and this is just a 7-inning scheduled game, game 1 of the doubleheader. So we're getting into the nitty-gritty here, and still tied up at 1. Jake Vanderwood takes ball 4. None of those 4 pitches was all that close from John McGuire. 4-pitch walk, a surprise from a guy who's had pinpoint control pretty much the entire game. That's his first walk since the 1st inning and just his 2nd overall. It snaps a string of 6 straight retired, and it brings Cole Miller to the plate with 1 on and 2 out. Miller is 1 for 2 with a single. There are 2 outs in the inning, but this is exactly how Indiana South Bend's first scoring rally began. Ball 1 high on Miller. In fact, it was the same part of the lineup. In the 4th inning, McGuire retired Allen and Sikorsky to start the inning, just as he did here in the 6th. And then the next 3 men all got on base. There's a high fly deep left but foul, and well out of play. 1-1. In that 4th inning, Vanderwood and Miller singled, and then Owen Benson reached on a run-scoring error. One and one on the catcher, Cole Miller. He flies it into center field. Luke Ketchum has an eye on it, and he makes the catch. The inning is over. So the 2-out walk proves harmless, and we go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Saints and the Titans tied at 1. We've been tied all the way throughout this thing into the bottom of the 6th inning, still 1-1. Eric Maffey leads things off for the Fighting Saints. He's the only one to have scored for St. Francis today. And Maffey takes ball 1 low from Robbie Berger. 2 starters still dueling here. Berger for IUSB, McGuire for St. Francis. Maffey lines it softly into left field for a hit. Not one of the harder hit balls that Maffey has knocked into left field this year, but got it right in between Reyes and Sikorsky, the shortstop and third baseman respectively. And the Saints have their 6th hit of the day, and they've got the go-ahead run on first base with nobody out. So that brings up Jake Lasota in a likely bunting situation. Lasota is 1 for 2 with a single so far today. And Brett Sikorsky is playing even with the bag at third base right now, guarding against that potential bunt. Lasota does drop it down, back to the pitcher. The throw goes to second base, and they get the out at second. Nice work by Robbie Berger to get the lead runner. 1 down. So Lesota is safe at first on the fielder's choice. 1-6 on the putout. And Luke Ketchum bats with a man at first base. And 1 down. That man at first is John Peterson, the pinch runner. Ketchum is hitless so far today. He has struck out and flown to shallow right. Ball inside, 1-0. Eric Maffey's single earlier this inning was his second hit of the game. It was the team's 6th. At one point, South Bend was out hitting St. Francis 6-1. Ground ball to second base. Scooped up by Vanderhood, who flips to second for 1. Over to first. That's a double play. 4-6-3. And the inning is over. A quick inning despite the leadoff single. A 5-pitch frame for Robbie Berger, who stays on through 6. One more inning to play in this one. At least that's the plan, but it's still tied 1-1 as we head to the 7th. Owen Benson leads off the top of the 7th for Indiana South Bend, trying to break a 1-1 tie. He takes ball 1 from John McGuire. McGuire started off this game pitching pretty well. He's gotten better as it's gone on. He's allowed just 1 base runner the last 2 innings. Strike called over the outside corner. 1-1 on Benson, who's 0 for 2. Benson flew into a double play in the 2nd inning. In the 4th, he was responsible for the only run of the game scoring so far for the Titans. Swing and a miss here. It's 1-2. With runners at first and third and 2 outs. Benson hit a grounder to third that appeared as though it would end the inning. But the throw to first base was dropped. And so a run scored. Ball low, 2-2. So Benson is credited for an 0 for 2 performance, but one of those 2 was an error that he reached on and brought home a run in the process. That broke a scoreless tie. St. Francis almost immediately tied it back up again. Line down the right field line. It's a foul ball. Still 2-2 as it rattles around the St. Francis bullpen. There is somebody loosening up down in that St. Francis bullpen. McGuire's been excellent so far, but it is the 7th inning. So Nick Clemens is throwing just in case anything goes wrong for McGuire. Another foul ball to the right side. Still 2-2. A nice grab made by the protector down in the bullpen. The last one got by him. This one does not. Seventh pitch coming up from McGuire to Owen Benson. Chopper to the shortstop. Carraro plays it on 3 hops. A little crow hop from him. His throw to first is not in time. Owen Benson legs out an infield single. Close play at first base, and Benson is ruled safe. A leadoff single, and the go-ahead run is aboard. Benson tripped over the bag, and he will leave the game now for a pinch runner. Nick Banks is coming on to run at first base. Good effort down the first base line from Benson, though, has given IUSB a chance to take the lead here. Saints got their leadoff man on in the bottom of the 6th inning. They were not able to score him. Let's see if IUSB can get their leadoff man in here with the number 9 batter, Colin Mack, coming up. Mack's a .266 hitter for the season, 0 for 2 in the ballgame with a couple of groundouts. He tries to drop a bunt down here, but hits the first one foul for strike 1. Jonathan Wolf well in at third base. He's charging with the pitch. Maffey is doing the same at first, but he's holding the runner on prior to the pitch. And McGuire uses him, holding that runner on as he makes pickoff attempt to first base a little bit late. 0-1 on Mack. That's a big runner over at first base in a tie game, top of the 7th inning. The bunt is down this time, picked up by McGuire. His throw to first is in time. Successful sacrifice, 1-3. And the go-ahead run is at second base. First time since the 4th inning that IUSB has had somebody at second base. That was the inning they scored. Fighting Saints were not able to get their run in. Or I should say they were not, I mean that's true, but what I meant was they were not able to get their runner over when they tried to bunt in the bottom of the 6th inning. IUSB is successful on their sacrifice attempt, and now they've got the top of the order up, and Nolan Unger takes a ball over his head, 1-0. Breaking ball that got away from John McGuire there. Unger was able to duck underneath it. Unger is 1 for 3 today. He singled back in the first inning. Since then he's flown out and grounded out. He takes in the dirt, 2-0. Long look in at catcher Jake Lasota from the sophomore right-hander John McGuire, facing his most nerve-wracking situation of the game. 2-0 pitch. Fouled away. It's 2-1. Not the most dangerous moment of the game in terms of game situation, but just the fact that it is a tie score in the last scheduled inning of play means that this becomes a little bit tighter now than a similar situation earlier in the game. Ground ball to the shortstop. Carraro gloves it. His play is at first, and he gets the out there. Banks advances to third base on the second out of the inning. And the batter now is Tony Reyes. So the go-ahead run is now just 90 feet away, but McGuire doesn't have to worry about him, because if he can retire the batter in the box right now, he'll get his offense up in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Reyes is in the dirt. Good block by Lasota as it skips off to the right side. Reyes does not, or rather Banks does not try to score. That is the concern with the man being at third base. A wild pitch or a passed ball would bring him home. That one in the dirt. Lasota was able to keep it nearby. No chance for Banks to score. 1-0 to Reyes, misses high, 2-0. Tony Reyes is 1 for 3. He has flown out and grounded into a double play. He's also got a single. He's in the driver's seat in this at-bat. 2 balls, no strikes. And he takes ball 3. The inning began with an apparently routine ground ball. Noah Carraro made the play, threw it over to first, but Owen Benson just beat the throw. That runner is now at third base as Reyes takes a strike. 3-1. Looked like he was taking all the way on the last pitch. Now he'll focus again on the 3-1. He lines it up the middle. Carraro moves to his left, plays it off the ground, throws to first in time. Right in the vicinity of second base, Noah Carraro is able to make up ground and make the play to retire the side. The leadoff single does not result in a run as IUSB leaves a man at third base. St. Francis has a chance to win it when we come back 1-1 after 6.5. Bottom of the 7th inning, John McGuire leads things off for the Fighting Saints, who are tied with Indiana South Bend 1-1. McGuire's pitched to Jem, and now he's trying to come through on the offensive side. He already has once. Swings at the first pitch here and fouls it back for strike one. John McGuire is the only RBI in this game for either team. He's 1 for 2. Nearly had 2 hits. He was robbed by Brendan Bell, who made a diving play on him back in the 2nd inning. In the 4th, he had the RBI 2-out base hit that evened the score at 1. He takes ball 1 to even the count. McGuire, Tumulty, Martinez due up against Robbie Berger here in the bottom of the 7th. John McGuire takes a strike over the inside corner. It's 1-2. Berger has been sharp today. He's given up 6 hits. They've all been singles. He's walked only 1 way back in the 1st inning. Ball outside, 2-2. In fact, he walked the first batter he faced and has not issued a free pass since then. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McGuire pops it up foul to the right side and out of play. The Saints scored a run on 3 hits in the 4th inning. Other than that 1 inning, they have never had more than 1 base runner in any inning tonight. Grounder to the second baseman. Vanderwood bobbles it and can't recover. McGuire is aboard on the air. Even after the initial bobble, it looked like he still had a play if he just picked it up and threw it over to first, but he bobbled it a second time. And so McGuire reaches first base. He will depart for a pinch runner here, and it'll be Scott Tumulty who comes in to run at first base. First error of the game committed by Indiana South Bend, and it may be a fatal one. As Sam Tumulty comes up, the winning run now at first base. Saints had the leadoff man on last inning and were not able to advance him. Tumulty bunts, the pitch is high, and he pulls the bat back for ball 1. Looked like that may have been a pitch out, although really it was just a pitch up. It was over the plate, but the catcher Cole Miller was hopping out of his crouch even as the ball came in. Good speed over at first base. Good speed in the box as well. Sam Tumulty is 1 for 2 with a bunt single. He tries to bunt here and takes a strike. It's 1-1. So the leadoff error has put a wrinkle on this bottom of the 7th inning. Berger pitching in a little bit more high pressure situation now. The 1-1 bunted up in the air and into the seats. A foul ball and strike 2. They weren't able to get that bunt down in the 6th inning, trying to advance the go-ahead run into to second base. And so far they haven't been here in the 7th. With 2 strikes, we'll see if Brian Mahalik keeps the sacrifice signal on. Looks like it. Tumulty put his hand on the bat early. He is bunting down the third base line. It's foul, and that's strike 3. So a strikeout on an attempted bunt. It's the first strikeout for Berger since the 4th inning, his 5th of the game. This is a guy who strikes out well over 1 per inning on the season. His strikeout numbers are down today, but he's okay with it because everything else has been fantastic. Here's Alex Martinez. Martinez is 0 for 1. Ball high, 1-0. Well, now that Tumulty wasn't able to get the runner over to second base, we may see Scott Tumulty taking off on his own at some point here. Try to get to second base without help. He's got good speed and certainly is capable of stealing second. We've seen Cole Miller throw out a base runner earlier in the game as Martinez takes a ball high. But in general on the season, he hasn't been too successful in cutting down runners. Scott Tumulty is 12 of 15 swiping bags this year. Ball in the dirt, 3-0 on Alex Martinez. Martinez dropped down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. In his second at bat, he scorched one into left center field, and Owen Benson made a really nice running catch. So no hits for Martinez, but he's looked good at the plate. And he looks good here in drawing the walk. So now they're at first and second, thanks to the 1-out free pass. Winning run is in scoring position for Jonathan Wolf. Wolf is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. And Martinez will not run for himself. It'll be John Peterson coming out as a pinch runner. So Peterson's at first, Tumulty's at second. Peterson doesn't really matter here other than in trying to avoid the force at second base. If that 1 run scores from second, the game will be over. Jonathan Wolf trying to be the hero today. First pitch to Wolf. Lined into left field. That's a base hit. Tumulty is being waved around third base. Unger comes up throwing. The throw to the plate is not in time. Tumulty slides in safely, and the Saints win on Jonathan Wolf's walk-off RBI single. 2-1, our final score here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the leadoff error proves very costly as John McGuire goes the distance for the win and gets on base to set up the winning run. And that's a pretty good day for McGuire. He had the RBI single earlier. He didn't score the winning run, but his pinch runner did. And he also picks up the victory on the mound, going 7 innings without allowing an earned run. So a great game for McGuire and a great moment for Jonathan Wolf, who picks up his 2nd hit of the game, and this one a game decider. Game 1 of our doubleheader is in the books, and it belongs to St. Francis, who moves back above 500, 25-24 with the victory. Wolf's RBI hit his 2nd hit of the game, and the Fighting Saints 7th to give them the victory. Let's go back over the scoring in this one that didn't occur until the 4th inning. Both pitchers were excellent early on as we went through 3 innings scoreless. Then in the top of the 4th, Indiana South Bend found their way onto the scoreboard with 3 straight 2-out base runners. There was nobody on base when Jake Vanderwood came up with a 2-out single. Cole Miller followed with a single. They were at the corners with 2 down, and that's when Owen Benson came up, hit a ground ball to the shortstop, or to the third baseman rather. Jonathan Wolf's throw to third base hit off the glove of Eric Maffey. Maffey could not hang on, and the error allowed Benson to reach base and Vanderwood to score to make it 1-0 Indiana South Bend. The Saints immediately answered with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Eric Maffey singled. Jake Lasota singled to put him at first and second. And then with 2 down and an 0-2 count, John McGuire came up with an RBI single, tying it at 1-1. Then it remained 1-1 as both pitchers were excellent again, McGuire and Berger, in a great pitcher's duel all the way into the 7th inning. And that's when St. Francis finally struck again. Indiana South Bend got a man to third base in the top of the 7th, but wasn't able to score him. The Saints got the leadoff man on in the bottom of the inning when John McGuire hit a ground ball to the second baseman. It was bobbled by Jake Vanderwood. He could not recover from the initial bobble, and McGuire ended up reaching base on the error. Scott Tumulty came in as the pinch runner. He advanced to second when Alex Martinez walked, and then Tumulty scored as Jonathan Wolf stepped up with 1 out and runners at first and second. He jumped on the first pitch, lined it into left field, and scored Tumulty from second base, making it a final score of 2-1. Our totals in this game for Indiana South Bend: 1 run, 7 hits, 1 error. For St. Francis, 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. The winning pitcher is John McGuire. Complete game, did not allow an earned run. McGuire improves to 5-3 on the season. The losing pitcher and a tough luck loser, Robbie Berger. He falls to 2-2. Berger went 6 1/3, a complete game for him. He allowed just 1 earned run of his own. There weren't a lot of errors in this game, just 1 on each side, but both of them were very costly. Both led to a run scoring, and in the bottom of the 7th, the winning run. St. Francis wins it 2-1. They will try to make it a doubleheader sweep in about a half hour. We'll plan on about a 5:10 start time to game 2, so make sure you're back with us for that. That's going to do it for this game 1 broadcast. 2-1 St. Francis wins. Terry Bonadonna here from Joliet signing off for the moment. I'll be back in about a half hour. Join us for game 2.